It's tabletop time.
I'm Rob.
I'm Dave.
I'm Jazza.
I'm Jen.
Oh, you held it in. Good on ya.
I'll learn. I'll get there.
And tonight we're playing Reboot.
Yeah.
Oh, I have tears in my eyes in the first minute.
This
That's
is the
good.
second
That
time
means
you've
you're ready
cried in a
for
roleplay today.
More heavy moments.
Yes. It's actually, man, now that you mention it, you should do a recap, but I know we've sort of like got to get in the zone as players because this is an intense... We just came off of an intense day.
Yes, 3 hours of roleplay and I've worn my voice to a nub.
Yeah, I feel like I just hurt my throat a little bit.
Yeah.
It was.
I was
Someone
doing a
had to
very
yell.
loud, verbose Nickelodeon style voice for 3 hours, and
It was Henry the Octopus.
Oh no! Oh, what have you done?
It's okay.
This is a serious...
we're about to have a really serious roleplay
episode.
session with Rob's dad, and we'll just get a Destiny to see how that's gonna go. Oh, that's a 2. Oh, funny
Oh,
that.
that's uncomfortable for you. Okay, let's jump into it. Recap time, Dave, my man.
It's been 2 weeks.
There has been 2
I don't
weeks.
even remember.
We've been standing in a room for 2 weeks.
I'm kidding. I remember.
It was intense.
We walked in, he
How
was
could you
like,
forget?
hello Seb, hello Dad, and then we
That was
just
the
froze.
end of the episode.
So, in the previous episode, Pro murdered a patron NPC.
You're joshing, aren't you?
I'm not telling, but
But they don't know you're
what is
joking.
that?
They
What
don't
is
know
that?
that's a thing you joke with.
well, it could happen.
You know the drone?
Dave
The-
likes
the male
to-
drone we found?
Oh, yeah.
Send false leads because we don't know who the patron NPCs
That's
are.
correct.
So
But, there have been many comments that have said every time I introduce a character that you guys might have as like a companion, you immediately dead end it or remove them or get them killed. So,
me,
no, you as a party, not you,
okay.
Jazz.
It is.
We shall try
It is
through.
Pro's inclination, to be honest, because he's like super on, like hiding and on the run and paranoid. So it's a surprise he has companions at this. But anyway, recap.
So, in the previous episode, the group were already in the city, and they started the session in the city. They went to the Ningyo, which is the proper pronunciation, which I don't know why I kept saying Ningyao, because it's Ningyo.
It's Aussie slang.
To their showroom. They were shown around by a Anne bot that basically showed them some robot models. They were introduced to the salesperson in an attempt to get Eve a new Robrain, upgrades to her capacity so she can basically pretend to be different types of robots. They then had to go to her house with her owners to get her like manufacturing. I called it a skeleton key. It was basically like a thing you have to insert that unlocks their sort of cerebrum. And yeah, so they got that, and yeah, they were pretty uneventful at her house. They didn't find the corpses of her owners and their baby, and then they headed out into the street.
Hang on,
What?
but we did.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
really traumatic and upsetting for all of us.
There were probably some people that may have skipped out on that episode,
As-
so it is worth just...
As if you'd skip
Briefly.
episode 7 for episode 8.
Yeah, nah.
There was
I
a-
feel like everyone who's on the journey is on the journey, but I feel like the disclaimer is good to get people ready to maybe skip little moments,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
But I think they would have.
I think the gist of it isn't concealed there.
Yeah.
Wow, I really did a number on my voice, didn't I? Do I sound different to you?
No.
No,
Really? Oh,
just
it
pretend you
feels-
didn't.
Okay.
And then...
I'll move the mic closer to you.
And then they went to the showroom where they ripped some robotic components out of some brains, which they're currently carrying a head and a chip from an Adam unit who seem to be acting
Mine
strangely.
was from a...
Yours is an Eve.
Some
Well,
type of-
it's not an Eve.
some
but
type of female.
A female drone. You literally have the head
It
of
could
that,
be.
and then you have the chip of an Adam unit. And then they went to Seb's family house. Yeah. Ah.
And we're up in the penthouse.
So the
Just
doors
gone up
have
to the
opened.
penthouse suite.
Panoramic skyline. Hello, son.
And a chair swiveled round, and an aged-looking man turned and said, "I've been wondering where you got off to," basically. To Sebastian.
Evening, Dad.
Good evening. I've forgotten his voice again. I keep checking it and I've forgotten it for the 50th time.
Just follow your heart.
Evening, Sebastian. What brings you home?
Just checking in. Need to get some stuff from my study. See how you're doing.
Things are moving faster than I had hoped for. And you've brought some friends?
Friend.
Well, he like adjusts. he adjusts.
Don't go, Eve. Don't go.
He adjusts his glasses and squints a little bit because he's kind of got like ambient mood lighting. There's a finger of scotch in a glass on the table next to him, and he's like, "Oh, yes, of course, friend."
Care for a sniffer?
If you'd like. And your friend? What's his name?
I completely ignore the conversation. I just, like in a zombie-like state, sort of legs weak, I'm walking up to the window.
This is Jacob.
Make a deception roll. And I'm going to give you -2 dice.
What?
Because your father, he knows your tells.
Okay, what's my
He
challenge
literally created you.
level? What's my challenge level?
Well, it's opposed against his perception.
You first, me first.
You first.
2. Shit. Well, I'm caught out in a lie.
He gets 2 successes too.
And it goes to defensive.
Goes to the defender.
Yeah.
He just raises an eyebrow and he says, Jacob, a friend. Right.
An associate.
Would you care for a drink, Jacob?
I ignore him, standing in the window, looking out at the city.
He's a bit of an odd one. I take a seat and pour us a glass. 2 glasses.
Your mother is working. She will be back for late supper. If you care to see her, she's been asking after you.
I can stick around to see her.
So you'll have dinner then?
Yeah.
And stay the night?
We'll see. Potentially.
Jeeves! Very stereotypical, but he likes that. Make up a bed. And a drone from one of the ones in the door turns in, nods, and then heads off to to be a guest bedroom. Mm-hmm. So, you've been gone a while.
I have.
I worried about you. And he almost deliberately gestures to a tablet that's off on the side table. And you can see pretty quickly that it has a bunch of pings. It has a tab open that's got location pings of every time that you, where you've been in the city. Mm-hmm. Were you looking for a upgrade?
Something like that, yes.
Where did you find this one anyway? Looks old.
Quite. Made an associate in the outer reaches of town and managed to convince them to... Well, I mean, I'd say part ways, but they didn't really have a choice in the matter.
Yes, the slums. So, he takes a deep sip. Did you find what you were looking for out there?
Not yet.
You know, I have infinite patience for you, son. And I want to see you find what you're looking for.
Thanks, Dad.
But things are moving. And we could use your help.
I glance at Jacob.
He's on another planet.
Oh, and I've gotten that from
Yeah.
your also vacant expression. Trying to be moody.
I'm not trying to be moody. I'm trying to be in his head.
Yeah. But I glance at Jacob and then glance back at you and be like, We can talk about it in private, I think.
Or over dinner then.
Yes.
Well, show them around the house if you want. His eye, like, while he's talking, he's now, like, turned and he's just looking at Pro at the window. Exciting thing, son. We're right on the cusp of everything your mother and I have dreamed of. But and he swirls his glass a little bit, should perhaps let this one settle before tea. I've ruminated for too long. And he stands up. And for the first time, it's been a while since you've been home, you really notice the age in him. He's he's just over 70, and he like strains to get out of the chair a little bit, and he's looking a bit withered. And a drone, the second drone, immediately takes like an automatic 2 steps towards him as if to assist him, and he brushes it off defiantly, and then sort of stands upright, and then with the glass held like that firmly underhand, he sort of wanders off to what you know to be his like study, and leaves you alone.
I stand up. And if I say Pro, is he going to be out of range of hearing me?
Yeah, you let him leave the room.
Okay, yeah, cool. Once he leaves the room, I'll stand up. Be like, Pro, Eve, and then head off to my study.
Cool. Do you follow?
Yeah.
I'm going to say no. I think when people leave the room, he'll probably just sort of fall to his knees and just look outside. He's in shock.
Seb, query.
So you guys leave the room, leave him there?
I'm hesitant to leave him alone.
Okay.
Yes.
We have another duty of care to follow. The baby.
What baby?
Back in the slums.
We'll get to that.
I fear that we do not have much time.
It's fair.
And I'll walk over to you. And I put my hand on your shoulder. Say, query. Do you require assistance?
Don't answer. Just looking out the window.
Keep going. Oh, you're just looking out the window?
Yeah.
Oh. It rolled out, but it rolled flat. That's a 4 on the destiny dice. You hear the soft movement of robotic legs approach. Sirs, your bed has been arranged. And a expectant butler bot stands there.
Do I know its name?
Jeeves.
I can show him the way, Jeeves. Thank you.
Indeed, Sebastian. And its head turns. This robot is stylized a bit differently. It's really bling and not humanoid in the sense that it's not chasing Uncanny Valley. These robots are like steel faceplates with like robotic features, quite robotic features, but like gold inlay and really luxurious, but so that they wouldn't evoke that kind of like they are made to look prestigious but very deliberately not have humanity in that sense. Of course, Sebastian. And it turns its head towards Eve. Do you require a charging station for the evening?
That would be most helpful. Thank you.
I shall show you the way. And it actually extends an arm as if to link arms and guide you physically.
Slick.
Yeah. Do you take its hand?
Yeah. I'll go
Okay,
with
and Eve is led away by Jeeves.
I'm going to walk up beside Pro and just stand next to him, staring out into the city / horizon / skyline.
Cool.
And just stand there silently for a little bit. Have a bit of a moment. Bromant.
Yeah. After a moment, well, that moment's pause, I say, what's it like growing up with this, huh? The world beneath your feet. Do you know, in the last 6 months, the highest I've been was that 4th-story floor where we got, what was that guy's name?
Vinod, you didn't even go there. You were on the bottom. It'd be.
I think we started to climb in.
Oh, okay.
For that, I was just underground.
It has its own drawbacks.
And almost as like awkwardly timed as you saying it has its own drawbacks, a door opens and closes from the study, and your father sort of moves to another room. Lights automatically turn on, a fake fireplace ignites, and some lights dim up. You see the bustle of 2 drones that begin to set a large dining table and like place meal trays out. Gentle music starts to play, and it's like, stock report. Your figures have gone up 7% in the last week. Congratulations. You have secured your place as the 2nd most wealthy family for the 3rd year running. And there's like a little applause noise.
That gets my attention. My head starts to rotate like, holy shit. What the fuck are you doing in the slums?
Come, we can talk about it somewhere more private.
Meanwhile, Eve, you're effectively escorted through some doors that open, close. They all do it automatically. They seem to have security systems on them that are immediately bypassed as the drone walks through. And you're basically taken into, I'm sure you've all seen, like Iron Man's workshop is pretty much what it looks like. There's like robotics, drone things, and it's all sort of self-managed by robotic limbs and stuff. And there's some charging stations, etc. Mm-hmm. And there's no interpersonal communication as soon as you leave the line of sight of the humans. The butler bot is just silent and just escorts you. And it's almost clinical. He escorts you and like turns you and places you in a charging station. Assuming you're just letting him.
Yeah, I'll just, yep.
And he walks over and presses it, like his fingers are going like twice the speed of normal fingers typing on this computer, and a whole bunch of little limbs and arms sort of come in and approach you from all different angles and begin, assuming again that you're not reacting, begin the process of effectively cleaning you, like polishing you. It's like these things like wiping off grime, there's like polishing and treating, and you go through like a full service rundown to get you to, it's going to take like half an hour, but to get you to the point of like presentable at rich person estate. It's a full,
I'll take a bath.
it's the car wash. It's the car wash of robots.
Wonderful.
Yeah, because you've been in the slums for like a month
yeah.
in the dirt and the filth, and yeah, you're getting the full treatment.
Wonderful.
They even 7. Yeah, so not too much of major benefit beside the cosmetic, but they find like 1 or 2 things you hadn't even noticed, like a little chip here and there in your casing, and these little guns squirt like an epoxy into it and then polish it off and repair the tiny blemishes and, you know, polish up the nicks and stuff. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, you taking him somewhere?
Well, I'm trying to. I'm not sure if he's going to follow. Come, we can speak somewhere more private.
Okay. You sort of pulled me back to reality a bit, and I'll follow him.
Okay. So Eve is gone. And you weave through a wing down to your study where you have... you actually go downstairs. Or upstairs? Upstairs, because you went to the... You actually go upstairs. There's internal elevators in the penthouse that just go up to the next floor. Oh, there's stairs mostly for decoration. I'm assuming you go whichever way. Irrelevant. You head upstairs, and you have half of this entire floor is your own personal like space. You have study, bedroom. The spare bedroom is in your wing. You have you have a couple of spare bedrooms, like entertaining areas for parties and all that stuff, just for you. Half of an entire skyscraper floor. And yeah, you weave your way into your study, and the door opens to a large study that has been converted with 2 major workstations with a slightly different taste in setup and equipment.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Describe the Describe the aesthetics. And spatially, how big are we talking?
Well, I guess that comes down to actually Rob. Rob, describe your study, what your character would have.
Well, in my mind, as Dave said, there's 2 desks that are set up, and I imagine them in the center of a room on a table. Behind them would be a very kind of vast array of physical books, which I feel are uncommon in this day and age, but I have quite a large collection of said books from a range of topics, but you see a lot of them are around humanities and anthropology, right? Civilizations and so on, and studying human behavior and all that crap. But as Dave said, there's two desks there, and one of them is very neat and very precise and well kept. And sitting on them is a pair of really cool looking glasses.
There's actually a note, like underneath the glasses on the desk.
I'm going to go take them.
Cool. So you go up and pick up the glasses, and there's a note. And it says, try to remember, one of the bots found this in your coat pocket. Look after them. Love, Mum.
I chuckle. Then I put my glasses on.
Cool. And with a little whine and a whir, Seb's famous art glasses activate. And now you are equipped with your glasses, which are effectively everything you can take in a mobile phone today, up to 10, and put on your head. So it's full augmented reality, internet searching, like a whole lot. Very expensive, top of the line product.
I skulk around the room, taking it all in, and my mind is immediately trying to just draw a comparison to the size of my cell. I just for clarity, I'm not feeling resentful of Seb in this moment, but I'm shocked by this disparity. But it's also sort of, I think Pro's coming to the realization that the things that he is actually fighting for and not really telling people about may only be achievable because of who he finds himself all of a sudden associated with. So there's not really resentment. I think in particular because your intentions have become reasonably clear to him in the last few days. So you've earned his trust, and he doesn't resent that. But there's a lot to take in. I guess is what I'm saying. Yeah,
Culture shock, literally culture shock.
Culture shock, and also just like seeing how someone else has been raised, and it's the literal polar opposite of Pro's upbringing, and yet we're traveling together, which is...
I can almost feel this is like the laughing manic breakdown moment, not the sad breakdown moment of that, like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, just like this is a joke. The world is a joke. Like, that this is what he lives in, and I dealt with what I dealt with.
Yeah.
Which we won't talk about.
No.
That was for later.
I gesture us towards a study table. It's basically just a desk with 2 chairs and no computers on it. There's an old book that I'd been studying laid out there that has developed a small level of dust. That's my opinion. You can dispute that if you like.
No. You may have orders for the robots not to clean this room.
So you signal me to join you?
I'll
Or?
just kick out a seat for you when I sit down.
I sit down. I don't have anything I'm particularly trying to do, and you sort of led us here, so I'm looking just sort of dazed a bit.
So?
I feel like if this is where we have an open conversation, we need to both open up a little bit. I can try and do that, but it's gonna fucking hurt.
I'll try.
When you asked me what I wanted most in the world, I kind of told you the truth, but I didn't really specify. The whole answer is something closer to who I want most in the world. Her name is Riley. And the only way I can get her is to save her. She's where I was, and I did some fucked up things in my life that she'll never forgive me for. I want to redeem that by, like I said, stealing New You and giving it to the people I ruined. But giving it to her as well. That's all I want. Most in the world. That's your answer. Forgiveness and a second chance for Riley. So what do you want most in the world?
The same.
You gotta give me more than that, man.
Maya. That's what you get. Just enough.
I think he feels that.
It's at this moment as well that Pro, like in that moment of awkwardness and maybe shifting eye contact, your eyes settle on the second desk and the layer of dust that is twice as thick and the little touches on that desk that just say this is someone else's workspace. This isn't his workspace. It's a second person's and it's untouched for ages exactly as it was left. You know, the little post-it note on the monitor, the little handwriting differences, all those things that you would, being imperceptive, not notice on first glance.
Note to myself. That'll do. I stand up and walk out.
Where?
Back to the window.
To the window in the study?
Yeah. No, where we entered.
Oh, so you're back in the entry hall.
Yeah.
The door opens in front of you as you leave the study, and there's that awkward moment of, and a figure leans back. Ah, sir. I was just here to inform you both that the entree has been served, and you are requested at the table. Do you require any freshening up prior to eating?
No, I'm cool. I look over at Seb and I'm like, I don't suppose I could get away with saying I'm not particularly hungry.
Probably not.
Perhaps, and Jeeves gestures towards Pro, I could guide you to the bathroom. And his keen eyes, so Seb notices that Jeeves's eyes, like when he asked that question, it was pointed at you, and his like gaze dashes down to your like fingernails, which have dirt and grime under them, and your hands are unclean, and you live in the slums, and you're a hacker, you don't notice this stuff, but you have the like, while you're wearing the clothes of city folk, and that gets you by, you stick out no matter what you do in this, the most upper echelon of society.
I would probably just chuckle and be like, you should probably...
I'm going to take your fucking cues here, man, because I am out of my depth.
Probably go with him. Try and enjoy yourself.
I'm just going to hold my breath.
And he guides you to the bathroom.
Yeah.
You're taken in...
I picture the scene with Beast in Beauty and the Beast with like...
Bubble bath.
The comb like rips off in their hair and like...
The door shuts behind you, and there is this drone standing. You can sort of see him in the mirror. There's soaps and everything, and it's all laid out, ready to go.
What drone?
Jeeves. He's standing in the bathroom behind you. But just like, you can see him reflected in the mirror, standing off in the corner.
Sort of like shrug and walk up and awkwardly like wash my hands.
Your activities are being monitored constantly. And I would advise you that if you were to consider stealing from the master, that you will be adequately dealt with. It is evident to me that you are not of the same cloth that the residents of this fine establishment cut themselves from, and you will refrain from any vulgarity in front of the master, or else you will be equally reprimanded.
I wash my hands and say, fuck you.
And he comes up to you and like with your hands once they're clean and gently dries them with a towel.
Whoa, that didn't go where I was expecting.
Gently drying your hands with a towel, and then the like faceless robotic head just twists towards you and it says, "Excellent. I'm glad that the house staff and yourself have an understanding. Jacob, was it?"
Yeah, you can call me Jake.
Yes, well,
I take the towel and I like.
that's an interesting nickname for one Mr. Ming Zhao. And then he turns and walks away.
Oh, that's amazing. Ooh, I felt a lot just then.
And you're just kind of left in this room.
Okay. Yeah, I was.
As you suddenly
Roughly
remember that all the
clean up.
cameras like log up what citizen and your fake ID is just scanning Mr. Ming Zhao right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, I'd do a rough scrub. That's me doing the thing.
Cool.
Come out mildly respectable.
And once you're finished, you come out. Did you wait for him to come out of the bathroom, or did you head there independently?
No, I'll go to the dining room. I'll grab a drink.
Cool.
I'll follow on.
I'm going to say through extended scenes, etc., that roughly half an hour has passed, and Eve is returned to the dining room where she just is gestured to, well, not even gestured, just allowed to head back to the dining room if you'd like to.
Sure.
You're obviously not offered a seat at the table.
Yeah, I'll just.
Cool. And there are about 4.
I like murmur to Eve. You clean up well. Don't take offense at how they treat us. They think we're not cut from the same cloth. And I like wink and walk past her.
I give you a really awkward, like.
And you are, like, it is full, like, seats pulled out for you. You sit down, there's 4 drones standing at the table. Your father is sitting at the head of the table, and there is an empty seat that is being set on the other end of the table for your mother. There is a table at your father's, there's a seat at your father's right hand, and at his left hand, a seat is pulled out for Pro. And your father's name is Oscar.
Oscar Allen.
Well, wonderful. What have we got today? Love it. We have delicious. You've had these before, of course. Oysters. Tasmanian.
Of course.
Kilpatrick, just the way I like them.
Like-
Exquisite.
Like poking it.
I find them a bit rich myself.
Find you a bit rich.
Well, we've got natural for you, son, of course. Whatever you like. Just ask. Anyway, how was it? What was it like down there with the people?
I'm like picking off like a couple of bits of bacon. And like, I like pause and I look at you just like, go on.
And I'm just gonna like gesture with my knife and fork. Although it's oysters.
It's a tiny fork.
Tiny
and I'm like,
fork.
so I'm like, I look at you and I'm like, right. And I put like a little bit of bacon on the end of the tiny fork.
This is the important roleplay right now. It's not the conversation happening between
What
Seb and
we're eating
Oscar.
now.
It's how we're eating oysters.
Hey, this is a moment. Sorry, go on.
Do you remember that time we went to Manila?
Yes, of course.
And as we flew in over the outer suburbs of Manila, we could see the slums and the people there
Oh, well, you, of course, are always fascinated with looking out the window. I was...
working.
Yes. Call me caught out on that one.
Well, I mean, I'm an anthropologist slash, I don't know, humanities researcher, so can you really blame me?
No, I can't blame you.
It's reminiscent.
I think... Well, I have to show you something first. And he has that toddle brain sort of moment. And he pulls up a tablet and he flicks through some things and types in a very, like, his password. You know, he has a password. And he slides it over to you. And he's like, I'm sorry. I know you didn't want me to get involved, but I couldn't help but see you hurting. And I couldn't help but do something. But there's nothing. I couldn't find her anywhere. I talked to, well, my contacts. We've scrubbed surveillance inside and out, but she just hasn't shown up. I'm sorry for, I guess, stepping into your business, son, but it's been how long now?
I'm just going to slide the tablet back across the table.
He takes it, picks it up, hands it back off to a drone who just casually picks it up. It's a real mess. Even with everything we've got, that we couldn't, well, I guess you can't control everything.
Not that he doesn't try.
My Seb. Control everything? Yes, he takes after his father. Anyway, what's your story, Jacob?
Jacob is a very talented engineer.
Yes, I see some cybernetics in you. How do you use them in your job? I'm always looking for good talent.
Well, on that matter, Father, I'm hiring Jacob to do some work for me out in the slums, and I'd be interested if you'd be willing to negotiate on a business venture.
Perhaps. Present it, son. I've taught you better than to shoot off half-baked ideas. Business plan on the table.
I don't have a business plan. It's not a business. I mean, I said business venture. It's a humanitarian venture.
Oh, tax deductible?
Naturally.
Yes, so?
In my time in the slums, I've come across a lot of interesting people.
You would?
And I think what strikes me about them most of all is how determined they are to be better and more than they are or were made to be.
Yes, I agree. It's one of their... Well, I don't know that it's their redeeming quality. I have a bit of a theory on this. I know you're fascinated by them, but I think it's...
We're not fucking zoo animals. Sorry. He was trying really hard not to say anything.
I just complimented you!
Like a zoo animal!
Destiny roll. How does Dad react? Not the worst.
You can see I immediately catch myself, but it's taking everything.
No. It's fine, Jacob. It's at a table of academics. There is no filter. We discuss, we drink, and we talk our ideas through. You are in a safe place. I take it from your statement that you consider yourself kindred to these people down there.
I'm a person, if that's what you mean. And they're people like you.
Unlike me, but not too dissimilar. And this is what gets back to my theory, Seb. I don't believe that it is a product of the people out in the slums, anything that makes them special by their circumstance. It is merely that it is an accelerated grind of human potential where the only ones that survive are the ones who rise above. There are countless millions born out there with no potential, and they just fade away. And then there are those with more potential who end up seated at the table of some of the most influential people in the world.
Or were they born at the table?
Well, this one was. Well, I guess. Not
Born.
quite born.
It's a bit of a stretch.
You know, I want you to tell me your proposal. I don't want you to think the worst of me. Sometimes I feel that you don't appreciate my angle on this, but I've always respected your candor, son. So, tell me, what shall I do? Or what shall you have me do?
I'd love the opportunity to foster this potential in the and outreach in the slums. I've got a facility down there that I'd like to turn into a helping hand to the folks that need it, but also as a potential opportunity to find those with talents that can be used. Adversity breeds excellence. And I think...
Well, we breed excellence.
Breed, again, is such a strong word.
Oh, we literally... You know we're trying to create the future.
I know that. But why do the circumstances of one's birth and the location of their birth impact where they'll end up at that
It's
table?
disgusting, son. I've always said this. It's hideous. It's broken. The system doesn't work. Right? There are millions, billions out there dying every single day needlessly. Needlessly. Because there's too many of them. Because everyone is too selfish and they don't have the vision that we have. The vision of less and better. And I don't want it to hurt. But the others in this society that we find ourselves, academics in a world of sharks, car salesmen, they don't get it either. They're just as bad. You don't think that the people in the buildings across from us are just as bad as the people that prey upon folks out in the slums?
Oh, I know that.
Is there alcohol at the table?
Oh,
Yes.
I reach out and pour myself a drink to keep myself occupied from talking.
But how do we get from here to my future without suffering?
What's your future?
There. There he is. And he points forcefully at Seb. Do you know that there is a direct correlation between intelligence and empathy? Did you know that if you are born better, you are less likely to be worse?
Born better.
We are not ready for this earth, and we can make ourselves better. That's what I've spent my life working towards. It's what your mother spent her life working towards. It's what you would have spent your life working towards. You always thought we made you the way we made you, didn't you? You know, we never took your free will. You were allowed to study whatever you wanted. I know you thought that you weren't, because none of the other bespoke are. They were programmed like basketball, like football, like science. But you're a clean slate. And that's why you're better than them. The door opens, breaking the tension. And your mother walks in. Her grey hair is pulled up tight, and she's still wearing a lab coat over a suit. And she walks in, pushes up glasses, and seems kind of like worked to death. And she strides in. As soon as she sees you, she lights up and ignores everyone in the room. And she runs over and, she's about 68. She sort of comes over and gives you a hug. Seb, hello. How are you?
Hello, Mum.
Oh, she plants a kiss on your cheek. So good to see you.
You too. You look tired, but well.
Well, you know, I keep telling your father it's time for us to jump on the new you bandwagon, but he's resistant. He says not until the old bones give out.
That's Dad.
So, did you hear? Did he tell you the news? The breakthrough.
Oh, what breakthrough?
It's, well, look. Isaac and Persia are coming over. You know, the Clements. Oh, hello. Who are you? Sorry. Terribly. My name is Nyla. And she outstretches a hand to shake your hand.
Oh, sorry. I like down the second drink. I shake your hand. I'm like, I'm Jacob.
Pro-Jake.
No, well, my professional name is Jacob.
Ah, okay.
You can call me Jake.
Jake. Yes.
Sorry, I didn't catch your name again.
Had a few drinks together with the boys, have you? Lovely. Anyway, he's friends, yes?
Yes.
So the Clement family are coming over, and they're the CEO and COO of Reboot Corporation. Of course, they're having dinner with us next week.
Oh, of course.
We need you to be here, son. You have to be here. It's a breakthrough that we've been waiting for our entire lives. It's going to change everything. Everything.
What's the breakthrough?
we've been working on it. They've been working on it. It's the AI. It's working, and it hasn't killed itself. So that's better than the last. How many iterations? A couple of hundred. It's doing new you for us. It's going to drop the price to the point that, well, if we can come to an agreement with the and I can't pour me a glass.
I know that AI is disallowed, and my parents would know that, but they've created an AI to do
It's
this.
not illegal. It just hasn't worked.
Okay.
So AI, and so difference here. Emergent sentience in machines that aren't supposed to have it, that are human-like, is being
Out of control and
blocked and shut down and locked away. This is AI in the sense of an entire floor of a bunker full of supercomputers that are super cool. This is like the singularity level computing AI. It doesn't think it's human. It is a thinking machine with capacity beyond. Whereas the drones are kind of limited at a human level, but they're developing sentience. This is more of a like peak singularity
making
intelligence
a god
machine.
level. Yes. The god machine.
Well, that's exciting.
It's breathtaking.
What do they think the price will lower to, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, if we have our say, well, the right people won't have to buy it.
How do you determine who's the right people?
That's the hard part.
Where my parents and I have always had a bit of a disagreement.
Yes. You see, the hard part is getting... It's like ripping off a Band-Aid. It's getting from here in the mire of hatred and horrible things every day to the place we want to be. Remember Mars? Do you remember we dreamed for it once? Dreamed for it. We forgot it. We should own the stars, and instead we piss in alleyways.
Not sure how to react to that expression from the second richest man.
He's not, he is, but he isn't like the others.
Yeah.
He is not a yuppie billionaire rich businessman. He is a scientist who, through his genius breakthroughs with his partner, they're equal in these breakthroughs. Imagine two Einsteins combining their brains. Like, it's like two of the best thinkers that got in a relationship. Through their combined work, they created a product that was so genius that it catapulted them to the wealth levels of all of the...
But they created the artificial
So
intelligence.
so the parents, you would know this now that you're getting the picture, now that you're getting the names. They created the technology that creates Bespoke.
Gotcha.
And through a huge collaboration between the Reboot company, which created basically consciousness transfer in Reboot technology, and Bespoke, they created New You as a conglomerate, like, joint product.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Well, I gesture my mother to her seat for dinner and take my seat.
So you what?
I gesture my mother to her seat.
And she does.
And then take my seat.
And onward proceeds an hour and a half of conversation over a 7-course degustation. The conversation settles to a more palatable level for you, but for Pro, but you are still sitting there. It'll actually make an intelligence check, challenge level 5.
It's going to be like way beyond me.
You can put any proficiency that makes sense.
Okay. It's just an intelligence check. I can't even get it. I don't have 5 dice.
Okay, we'll go 4 then. Is that what you got? I want to make it so it's possible.
Oh! 4!
Done.
So you actually managed to follow there's a blurring when it gets momentarily very technical, but you managed to follow. Actually, I'll get Eve to make the same check and then just a raw intelligence check because you're listening.
I'm assuming she's just kind of standing there.
Yeah, but she's listening.
Yeah.
I've never put multiple points in a thing before.
Cool. 3 successes. So you don't quite follow. In the areas where it gets very specific, you kind of blur it out, but mostly you follow the conversation. And what unfolds is you pick up bit piecemeal that effectively The family seem to be trying to warp New You into something that they want. They have this conglomerate product and they want to slip in their twist on it and do something. They're vague on the details and they don't seem to understand how they're going to get from A to B, but the general gist of what his parents want to do is they effectively want to create a new humanity that is better than the current humanity. The sticking point is they also don't want to cause undue suffering. So they're not promoting like a genocide or something like that. They want to find a way to like phase out the current humanity in a natural way and then replace it with this new generation of genetically created humans who are then smarter, stronger, faster, and in their eyes more empathetic and more capable of inheriting the earth.
Fascinating.
I'm just actually imagining your character saying that.
He doesn't input at all.
Yeah.
He's a fly on the wall as far as you guys are concerned. So he'll glean what he can, but yeah, he's up to drink for and just sitting in the background.
Dinner turns into drinks, which then turns into parents retiring, and you left in the
I
house.
still haven't to finish my conversation.
If you need more conversation, yes,
I was talking about my humanitarian venture.
Okay, yes, sorry, I completely forgot. I was so busy with Expedition, I forgot.
Daddy, I had a plan.
All right, and that happens. They talk for like an hour and a half about their exciting breakthrough, and you're probably swept up in the excitement too, because you've been party everything. But then at a point where it looks like dinner's wrapping up, you're like, oh yeah, I had this to talk about. Go for it.
Where was I?
Talking about your humanitarian venture.
Yes, well, as a bit of a humanitarian venture, I've opened a facility in the outer suburbs, the western suburbs, that I'd like to use to assist the local population, but also foster growth and development with exceptional individuals in less than pristine circumstances.
With a view to?
Well, I believe these people also have something to offer in the matter of pinnacleism, whatever you want to call it.
I like pinnacleism.
Pinnacleism.
You need to prove something to me, though. And this is one of my concerns about uplifting people, is how do we ensure that the rot isn't deep as the roots? How do we ensure that the damage people have sustained out there doesn't make them incapable of letting go and moving forward?
Do I witness this conversation?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's the same question we have about our neighbours.
Yes. But you're not infallible.
No one is.
You know,
Oh, that was a good time to get a 20.
God, a 20.
Oh.
Okay, he's going to give more information than I was thinking I was going to give away then.
He's had a few drinks.
He's had many drinks. And then he says,
do you remember your little friend? You're very, very young.
and you don't, by the way.
Just a bub, just a baby, in the lap. You and him. You're the first two we ever made.
He's now drunk, so I'm being drunk.
The first two. Perfect creations. Yes, we made you and one for Nyla and Oscar. A little sign of our working together. He didn't turn out like you. He didn't. Almost too perfect, that one. Damaged in some ways. And I don't know where he got to, that one. But something about him was off. Something inside, like an ugliness. We have to perfect it, and I think we have perfected it. I think we have. And he says, but I think now, your benefit, you can prove it to me. You prove it to me. Prove it to me. What are we going to say? $10 million. $10 million. It's yours. Make it work.
Thank you.
Make it work. I believe in you. And find her. Find her, damn it. It's the last thing. We can fix anything that's happened to her. We can fix it. You know we can. Me and your mother. We can... You don't have to keep the memories you carry with you. We can choose that too.
And like the butler comes in and like starts picking him up and walking him away. And he's just like,
You don't have to remember everything.
and then he gets taken out of the room.
Are we all alone, or are the drones still in the room as well?
Is that what they call pocket money, or?
I feel like 10 million's a bit more than what I'd normally get.
Yup.
Thank you, 20.
Although inflation. So $10 million is probably more akin to like $1 million now.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Has everyone left?
Yeah,
Dave,
only a
has everyone
million.
left?
Yeah, the parents have left.
But
and you're
the
sitting.
drones?
This conversation had moved to like the lounge area
Yeah.
long ago.
The drones still there? Are they
There's one in the corner. There's like a lot in the house.
Yeah,
There's
it's
always
fine.
one
Just
sticking
wanna know if
out.
we're alone
There's
or
also
not, that's all.
cameras.
I
Although
like-
Seb would know that a lot of the cameras will be off. When father is drinking, the camera systems turn off.
Oh. Am I able to lean in and talk without being in an earshot or in?
Of the drone, unsure, because their hearing can be far beyond what you
Yeah.
might expect.
No, I don't say anything.
Leave us.
As you wish, sir.
Says Gerard,
Gerard.
this one, and he heads off.
Do we have a spa?
Yeah.
Cool.
What? You can pretty much say, what do I have? Whatever you want.
I'd like to go to the helipad. No.
Okay.
Am I waterproof?
Do you want to go to the helipad?
No.
Okay, just checking, because there's a helipad.
Of course there is.
Am I waterproof?
You're like a
Water
good
resistant?
phone. You're highly water resistant.
But not waterproof.
But not waterproof.
Alright.
You've stood in the rain for like days.
But I don't go swim in the ocean.
But if you,
for fun.
it's more of a pressure and depth thing. Like you couldn't
Yeah.
submerge below like 5 meters or something.
I would lead Pro to the guest room, but I would stop by the spa. And I mean like day spa. So like, is there a robot there that massages people?
One of the butlers would be able to do it.
Cool. I'm going to lead him to this spa and be like, you have a very brief opportunity to indulge a little bit, and I would highly suggest you enter this room before you go to bed.
Ain't nobody touching me.
You don't know what's in there.
Ain't nobody touching me.
You don't know what's in there.
I know what indulge usually means.
You could just relax in this spa.
He's thinking a completely different thing.
Yeah. I'm trying to get you to relax. Do you a favor.
I'm not fucking relaxed.
You're
You're
drunk.
not getting me relaxed here.
You are drunk.
You are dumb.
Think you'd be a little more impressionable.
Pro, query. Would you like me to accompany you?
To where?
Shipping it.
Point to the room.
The massage parlor.
It literally looks like the entrance to a bathroom, not a massage parlor.
Okay.
You don't know what's in there.
I
once you're
don't.
in
I
there.
just look, dude. I just want to go to bed.
Okay, you're missing out.
I've missed out on a lot. I'll be okay.
That's a pretty poor excuse for not doing something.
It's also a big stance to take, though.
Yeah, that's true. All right, well then I lead you to your bed, which is probably also going to be culture shock.
Yeah. This bedroom is larger than any bedroom you've ever been in.
Yep.
There's a king bed, like beautiful desk, spacious, big window.
Yeah.
All of that.
I'll be indulging whether I decide to or not.
Okay.
And you head off?
Yeah, not to bed though. I'll
Okay.
go to my study.
Am I comfortable? I don't think I. Honestly,
Destiny roll it. See how you are drunk and tired, and it is a big looking comfy bed.
yeah, but honestly,
You've been drinking heavily.
Yeah, I get it, but just frankly, in character, like I know people who have lived in like in Western cultures and gone away for years in like the Philippines or whatever, and come back and struggle
Yeah.
to sleep on a mattress.
If you Destiny roll it and base it on that,
I don't think I would though. I think I would sleep on the floor.
Okay, so
I think it's plush carpet, it's as good as my bedroll. That
Kind of pull like a blanket down onto you. From
yeah,
the bed.
sure.
Yep.
Like, but honestly, I think a big cushy bed is going to be too weird.
Yep.
Like too
Okay.
weird. Never done it in my
Sleep on the
life.
cashmere carpet.
Yeah, that'll be luxury. Seriously.
Yep. Cool.
Yeah.
You lay on the carpet. You stay out for a bit.
Yeah, I want to start sorting out some of the ins and outs of my soup kitchen.
Okay. Cool. You do still need sleep, but you've got a few more hours on the rest of them.
Yeah.
Like, they haven't eliminated the need and the joy of sleep. Eve,
Am I fully fully charged?
always charging overnight is not a bad idea. Going into standby mode, as it will then mean, like a phone, in the morning you have full charge.
Yeah, I'll go back to one of the
Yep.
Jeeves bots and
Cool.
get him to lead me back
Yeah,
downstairs.
yeah. And you go to charging station. You stay up for a few hours. How many hours do you stay up for?
2 or 3.
Is there anything major that inefficiently you want to do, or we can always chat off?
I mean, establish a proper business as a tax deduction
Register for an ABN.
Yeah, for my company.
Okay,
Sweet.
you can make good headway. Yep.
Yeah, cool. And then start placing orders for regular deliveries of food and learning resources and
Cool.
shit
Right.
like that.
Yep.
Should be delivered under armed guard to my
Armed
facility.
guard. Okay, that's expensive, but you've got the money right now. Cool. Just get it sorted. Done. Cool. At some point, you go to bed.
Yeah.
Pro,
Yo.
I need you to make a perception check in the middle of the night.
Okay. Oh shit! It's environmental perception.
Yep.
Fuck.
I believe you have
2.
2 dice.
Challenge
You have
level.
advantage on these 2 dice, though,
Okay.
but the challenge level is going to be 2.
Okay. Ooh,
done.
made it.
Okay. In the middle of the night, you feel something touching you,
What
and you awake. Your eyes like slowly open. There's firm hands pressed against your arm on the ground.
Fuck.
They're cold and robotic.
What do you want?
There's no reply.
I push it away.
Make a strength check, and it's going to be opposed.
I send the massage bot in.
Are you being serious? I was going to say. Okay,
So
you go first. I want to know
this
what
is
my.
just strength,
Yeah.
or should we go grip? We'll go grip
Okay. Doesn't have me.
or grapple. 4 successes.
Gripple.
I won't succeed.
Cool. So you start to struggle.
Yeah.
And you are held, like your arm is pinned like a police hold onto the ground, so you can't even really like turn around, and it's really forceful, and you feel a sharp prick in your arm, and then a pressure sensation, and then a pull away, and there's a scraping sensation on your arm, and then you get like let go of.
And I turn around to see what
You spin
who it
around
was.
and you see the shape. It's like dark in the room, but you see the outline of a drone standing above you.
What type of drone?
Like a black humanoid robot. Definitely a house bot, glistening with like gold embellishments. And in its hand is a needle in its hand, like a hypodermic needle. And it is flicking it, and it is full of blood, and it unscrews the needle off the end and puts it in a thing, and then like puts that in a pouch. And there's a sample of something that it scraped off you that it closes.
Zap it.
You attempt cybermancy on it.
Yeah.
Okay. What are you attempting to do to it?
I'm just gonna shut this thing down. I don't know what the fuck it's doing, but it's never a good thing that this is happening.
It never consented as well.
No.
How rude.
Very rude.
What?
That is why
you're just
I
gonna
always
try and-
Don't go defend in the middle of the night, stabby robot. I don't know.
You've just spent an evening in a conversation about a man that is trying to offer useful and worthy people a free
So I
version of
should
me.
be more gracious to my host who is
No,
stabbing me
what
and
I'm
collecting
saying
my
is-
blood in the middle of the
What I'm
night.
saying is don't immediately jump to the negatives.
Fuck off!
Are you trying to fry it?
There is no positive in this situation, you dick.
Well, hopefully not.
Are you just trying to
We don't know
overtly
your
fry it?
sexual
Shut it,
history.
like just
Completely off the
not
whole thing.
not to kill it, just to
Well-
completely stall it. Like
Yep. Challenge level 7.
okay,
Yeah.
all right.
It's one of the hardest things. It literally, challenge level 7, scramble and completely disable a shielded robot. They're designed to be resistant to this sort of thing.
Okay, then I'll change what I'm going to try and do because I would have known.
Yeah, you know how difficult it would be.
I try and I want to make its arm malfunction so it drops
Just
what
its
it's holding.
arm?
Yep. So it drops.
4. Challenge level 4.
All right. 1, 2, 3. I don't have any Disney points.
Damn.
You will restore them once you wake up in the morning. You will get 1 back tomorrow, all of you, after these sessions, but not right now. So you fail. So you like, and there's a moment of it, like your interface is showing things and you can see, because cybermancy is not like hacking, because that would be impossible. It's like an advanced UI that combines like preloaded data packages with all different things. And you're trying to find in and you're just hitting these hugely advanced corporate cyber walls. This is like firewalls. This is a top of the line robot, and it doesn't even notice that you're attempting to do it. Or actually, it probably would.
I kick it.
You hurt yourself. Not in injury level, but you kick steel. This thing is probably like 180 kilos, and it's just like standing there upright. And it just finishes what it's doing, ignores you, and turns and starts to walk out of the room.
Follow it.
Cool. It walks out of the room.
Where's it going?
It's just heading through. Seb! You shout.
Do I wake
Perception check. Challenge level 3. The doors are fairly soundproof.
Eve! I require assistance!
Eve, you are completely out of earshot.
Fuck.
What's my chance?
3.
1, 2, 3, 4,
wake up.
5. Yeah, if he's screaming, I rush out.
You burst out of your bedroom.
The fuck is this thing?
You see a drone, one of the housebots, walking away from Pro.
I'd like to yell, halt.
Yep. It stops and turns towards you.
Why is this collecting my fucking blood? In the middle of the night.
What's the robot's name?
This one you're not actually familiar with by name. It's not one of the general butlers.
I look at it and say, well.
Sir, unfortunately your friend seems to be suffering from a psychotic break. No such incident was occurred. He found me in a awkward state.
Oh, he's calling me a liar.
In the middle of the night, he began shouting hysterics. These hysterics caused me to attempt to ask him to calm.
Seb, if you were ever to trust me, you trust me now.
He gained a minor abrasion in the scuffle. I am heading downstairs.
I show the mark where the needle
There's
was
a
put
small scuff on him.
Like, needle, robot. Middle of the night. Probably on the up and up, but I just want to make sure that something fucked up isn't happening without my consent.
Yeah, I'm gonna believe him.
Who? Him? Okay. You can believe him.
Is there like a command for him to empty and get rid of any, like, to see what he's holding?
In express. Yeah, there'd probably be like you could order him to do whatever you want. He's the housebot.
Empty all of your containers?
Unfortunately, Sebastian, you do not have the authority to order me to do such a thing.
Ah, that's funny.
I'd like to call my dad on my glasses.
It'll be zonked. Ooh, it's 18.
There's no interference in the phone rings. But it doesn't answer. Goes to message bank.
Okay, I point at it and say, you follow, and I head towards their bedroom.
Point at who?
The robot.
And it says, no, I am undergoing orders.
From who?
That is none of your business, Sebastian. I suggest you head back to bed.
No. Can I try calling my mother?
You can, and you will receive the same response. And the drone turns and begins to walk away from you.
Cybermancy again. It's a different scenario. New combat attempt.
Is there a fire alarm?
No. Not unless you triggered it, like in the whole thing.
Can I trigger it?
No. Like, it's not manually triggered. If there was a fire, it would go off, but it's not something you can, like...
Is there any identifying features on the robot?
It just looks like all the other ones.
But there's no way to determine which one it is?
Not really. They're designed to be blend into the background.
And it's walking away from me.
It's heading towards where the drones are all repaired. Like, stored.
I'm going to say, what is your name?
My name, sir. You're curious. Are you still going to zap it now while it's talking?
I'm ready to, but I'm watching.
My name. I'm curious as to why you wish to know my name.
Because I want to find out why you and who has ordered you to attack my friend.
My name is Regius.
Does that trigger anything in my mind?
No, never
Cool.
heard it.
Then I turn around and make my way to my parents' bedroom.
He's lying.
So, Seb is storming away to the parents' bedroom.
I'm following this robot.
The robot's heading down to the drone rooms. So you split.
Yep.
Who am I going to do first? Low rolls, I'll do Seb first. 5. So, Pro. You head downstairs to the drone rooms.
Sorry, this episode must be terribly boring for you.
Yeah, Eve is very
I'm
important, but
enjoying
sometimes
it.
that'll happen. And heads down to the doors. It gets to this sort of secure door and stops. And it turns to you. It says, "This area of the house is off limits to guests."
Okay. Can I destiny roll if I've something on my person to leave a mark? Something, some sort
Sure.
of pen
Destiny roll it.
marker,
Go for it.
something to leave a scratch.
Yes,
20!
You do. You're carrying, I'm
Sharpie.
going to say even better than a scratch. You have like a little...
Some digital fingerprint or something to like...
You have a little tracker that will give you a signal and will be discreet. It's like a little chip that you can slip on it as it goes past.
All right. I lean in.
And obviously you can see it like on computers. It's got a sensor on it.
I like lean in as if I'm about to like whisper into the robot's ear. As a human mannerism, obviously it doesn't make a sense to the drone for me to do that. But while I do it, and I like place this tracker in a place that I would assume would not be monitored or cleaned or whatever anytime soon. So you be real fucking careful who you pick your fights with, and who you take your orders from. And I walk away.
I'm sorry, sir. I do not understand that
Sure you don't.
gesture. Thank you for abiding by the customs of the house. And then he goes through
I
the
slam
doors.
the door shut behind me.
Eve, a drone enters. Make a perception check. Challenge level 2 to see if you activate through this unusual... The door slamming is the unusual trigger. Also, there was a brief comment about the chip that Seb has. Basically, you pass, Eve. That Pro has. The chip that Pro has makes it harder for him to be detected when he's attempting to be stealthy. Once he's been like clocked by things, they don't have any trouble. Like once they've sort of focused and realized he's there, it doesn't really do anything. You become aware of your surroundings as you exit standby mode. A drone walks into the room and crosses the threshold. Meanwhile, back upstairs, you reach your parents' room, Seb. There is Jeeves standing at the precipice to their rooms.
I'm just going to walk in.
He puts his hand up, just as a gentle gesture.
Sebastian, sir, I don't recommend entering right now. Your father and mother are celebrating.
I'm going to walk in.
The door, you walk past him and the door just doesn't open.
The door is locked, sir.
Open it.
I'm afraid that they have locked it.
It's an emergency.
Oh, that was the 3.
I was told to inform you, should you come inquiring, that you would not like what you see. I believe they are intimate right now, sir.
I don't care. I'm going to start banging very loudly on that door. And if it's too quiet to hear them, I will find something to hit the door.
You bang very, very loudly, and Jeeves just lets you do it. And after 30 seconds to 40 seconds, your father, wearing only a dressing gown, the door opens and he's standing there and he's got bags under his eyes and he's clearly still drunk and he's, "What?"
Quicker than usual, father.
Whoa! Don't do that!
What is it, son?
One of your robots has attacked my guest.
We'll talk about it in the morning.
No, we'll talk about it now.
I don't know what you're talking about.
What was the robot's name?
It was
Reggie-
Regius.
A robot apparently going by the name Regius has snuck into my guest room and apparently drawn blood, and then has outright lied to me, saying it has not done that.
There's no such robot.
Well, then there's...
Check the records.
Who? Was that to hit me or the robot?
He says it to you.
He's like, check the cameras.
Can I do that on my glasses?
He actually feeds you through to them.
Yeah, cool.
Cool.
Is there anything there?
This is some sort of hacking
I
bullshit.
would also like to do a live feed on the current drone room, knowing he was heading there.
Live feed, not. So, make a perception check.
Challenge level.
3.
One, 2, 3.
You watch the live feed, and at about 2:30 in the morning, you see the door to Pro's room open, and Pro stumbles out somewhat drunkenly, sort of rubbing his face. He wanders out into the common area where a drone is standing by. He collapses on the ground and half knocks a coffee table over. The drone steps in and rights the coffee table. Pro throws a punch at the drone in what looks like a drunken stupor. It grabs him by the wrist and then sort of steadies him and then walks him back to his room. Moments later, the drone walks out of the room and then you see you confront them in the alleyway. In the corridor.
That's bullshit, man.
I'm going to be very bold and say your security system has been infiltrated.
Well, I don't know. What can I do for you? What? What do you want?
I've just told you that your security in our home has been infiltrated.
You are the...
You're not there.
No.
He says,
You're trusting a drunk.
No, I'm trusting myself. I questioned a robot that gave me a name, and you say you have no record of this robot in your records. And then I've checked the security camera and seen a direct contradiction from the words that a man has given me that I trust.
We'll investigate it.
Now,
There is nothing to be done now.
well, what if they get away? What if this mystery
Where
robot...
did they
leaves the
go,
body?
supposedly?
They've gone into the drone room.
There's no exits.
and he
Well,
puts in a command, and the door you see on your feed out the door to the drone room just goes like locked, and it's like
There will be no access in or out.
Jeeves in short of it, and the drone nods and walks off.
We'll lock it down to tomorrow morning, son.
Is Eve in the drone room?
Yeah.
I'm going to say this isn't over, Father, and then I'm going to walk away.
And he says, I don't have a quarrel with you, son, but it's 4 in the morning and there seems to be no harm done. We'll work it out.
I feel like he's being very lax when I've just said someone has infiltrated his security.
He doesn't believe you. Is the read?
rude.
Well, he thinks that you've been influenced by your time spent with these people. So, what do you do? Meet back up with an angered Pro?
I will have by this time sort of caught up with him and said we need to get out of here.
Not until we figure out what's happening. And I lead you back to my bedroom.
Cool.
Wow.
Thank you very much for the raid, by the way, Dreaded Jam.
Thank you, Dreaded Jam.
Trade.
So, you guys head back to your room and try and sleep, or what are you doing?
No, I'm not sleeping.
You're just staying
I'm
awake
up.
for the next few hours.
I'm in the corner of the
cool.
room watching the rest
Cool.
of the room.
All right. Meanwhile, cut back to what happened in the drone room, where you got a live feed that was just nothing. Eve's deactivated in the corner. A drone did walk in, and he went and rested in the booth. You become aware of a drone that walks across the room, and a soft voice speaks up. Did you get it? Of course. And do you open your eyes?
It's just 2 voices that I can hear. Yeah, I do.
You, without turning your head, you see Nyla Allen sitting gently resting with lab coat on, glasses pressed up in the corner of the room, and she's handed what looks like a vial of blood and a sample.
Mother knows best.
And then she says, enter the bay for reprogramming. And the drone nods and walks into a bay where things attached to it, and she types into a computer. And then she activates a phone call, and you listen to one half of the phone call. And She talks to someone and she says, I've got a blood sample for you. I'm going to send it over. I'm scanning it now. You'll get all the details. I want a full family history. Find out everything you can about them. They're surely in the record somewhere. And get back to me as soon as you can. This one might be a unwanted influence. And then she hangs up.
Do I have any idea who she addressed? Like, did she give a
No.
name to the person? No. Okay.
Good cliffhanger to end on.
Yep.
Oh my god. Well, that went everywhere. And it was wonderful. Wow. Well done.
Mother knows best.
Is that the episode title? We'll figure that out
Too
later.
much of a spoiler, yeah.
That's true. All right. Thank you all for watching.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you.
It's an adventure every week. I love it.
See you next week for more fun with...
See you in the next video.
See you in the next video. No, your turn.
See you in the next video. Yum.
Go on, Dave. Do it. Do the thing. Do the thing, Dave. Do the thing.
I was going to say,
Do the thing.
subscribe for more fun with art and creativity. That was it.
Oh, nice. Wrong channel, but nice. You can subscribe to that here. You'll get that here too.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, it is. Are we not?
It's
Arty
true.
and creativity
That's
here
true.
too?
That's true, we are. All right, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you later.
See you later.